Welcome to the new video tutorial, guys. This is me Ron, and in this video tutorial we are gonna learn what are PHP variable, which variable is used for output the PHP statement, and why PHP is called a loosely typed language, and some PHP variable scope. Now let's do it. PHP variable. As you all know, variable is a means of storing a value such as text, that is string, or integer. A variable can then be reused throughout our code instead of having to type out the actual value over and over again. In PHP, we define a variable with a dollar sign followed by the name of the variable. Here you can see dollar variable name. Use quotes to define a variable having the string type. For example, $text is equal to hello world. To store a value hello world, you must use quotes, and you do not need to use quotes when you are defining the variable either of integer type or float type. Like $x is equal to 5 is the integer type, and $y is equal to 5.5 is float type, and you do not need to use quotes. Rules for declaring the variable in PHP. A variable can have short name or long name, but the variable with the name having 32 character is sufficient for us. So don't use the variable with the name above 32 character. A variable must start with the letter A to Z or capital A to Z or underscore sign. A variable may only be comprised of alphanumeric character and underscore. And one more thing, don't forget that the PHP variable are case sensitive. PHP output variable. The PHP echo statement is used to output data to the screen. Let's see an example. Whatever text editing software you have, you can do this code in your text editing software, but I am using Dreamweaver CC. Now let's open Dreamweaver and click here on new, and then click on PHP and then click create. One more thing, if you are using Dreamweaver CC, you need to know how the code written in Dreamweaver CC are executed in your local computer. That means the code that are written in PHP is only executed on the server and not on the browser. So you need to watch one more video to connect how to connect the Dreamweaver CC with the WARM server, or how to define the site and testing server in Dreamweaver CC. Don't worry, I will provide the link of that video in the description section below. Now let's start. Now define one variable text is equal to hello world, and print this variable here. And save it. And run this on browser. First say hey hello world. Now do one more job here. $x is equal to 5, $y is equal to 6, echo Here goes 11. Now we are gonna learn why PHP is called a loosely typed language. Why PHP is called a loosely typed language? We do not have to tell the PHP which data type the variable is. PHP automatically converts the variable to the correct data type depending on its value. But in other programming language, the programmer must declare the name as well as the type of the variable before using it. That's why the PHP is awesome. Like here in we define the variable text which store the string data type, and similarly we define the variable x and y which store the integer type. In order to define these two type of variable in other programming language like in C or C++, we need to define $text as a string and $x and y variable x and y is integer. But here we in PHP we do not need to specify the type of the variable. The PHP automatically convert the variable to the corrected data type. Now what are PHP variable scope? In PHP, variable can be declared anywhere in the script. The scope of the variable means where the declared variable can be used. PHP has three different variable scope: local, global and static. PHP global and local scope. A variable declared outside a function has global scope and can only be accessed outside the function. Let's see an example. Define variable, one variable, and define function. Don't worry, we will discuss about creating a function in PHP. The keyword function is used to define a function. Here, using the x inside this function will generate an error. Let's try. And initialize this function. And run the program. There you go, we encounter an error. That means the variable that is declared as global cannot be used inside the function. Now, a variable declared within a function has a local scope and can only be accessed within that function. Now let's see the example of local variable scope. Here we go. Define the variable inside the function here. $x is equal to 5, and let's save it and then run it. Wait a minute. Here we define the variable inside the function and we initialize the function here, and also we try to output the value of the variable x outside the function. Now let's run it. We encounter the error. The variable of a the value of a variable is 5 and we can encounter error here. Now note we can have local variable with the same name in different function because the local variable are only recognized by the function in which they are declared. That means the variable are die after the execution of the particular function. Now PSC, the global keyword. The global keyword is used to access a global variable from within a function. To do this, we use the global keyword before the variable inside the function. Let's see an example over here. Here use the global keyword inside the function in order to access the variable x. And then save it and execute it. Here we got the output. The variable value is 10 and the variable value is 10. That means we access the variable outside the function as well as inside the function. Now also the PHP also store all global variable in an array called global and inside two bracket index. The index holds the name of the variable. This array is also accessible from within a function. Let's see an example here. We define the variable x over here and also define variable y. Here goes the index. X plus, here goes another index variable, and access that variable here. And just save it and execute it. Oops, we got an error here. We define variable x, variable y here, and y. Oops, here should is null x, and here should is null y, and here goes is null y. And just save it and run the program. We got the value 15. Now the PHP static keyword. Generally, when a function is executed, all of its variables are deleted. That means all the variables are no longer alive. But sometimes we want a local variable not to be deleted. We need this local variable for a further job. To do this, we use the static keyword when we first declare the variable. Let's see an example over here. Define one variable static. And echo $x and increment x over here. Now initialize the function and just save it and execute it. Now the variable value is, when the function is initialized executed on, its value is 5 and the value of the variable is incremented by 1 and the output is 6, and again that value is incremented by 1, that means the output is 7. Each time the function is called, that variable will still have the information it contained from the last time the function was called. That means we have the original value of a variable x is 5, and then when the second function is initialized, that means when the value of x is incremented by 1, the function contains the value of a variable 6, and third time the variable x is incremented by 1, that means the value is incremented to 7. Note, the variable is still local to the function. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to give thumbs up and don't forget to share. And one more important thing, don't forget to subscribe this channel for tech and programming video. See you guys in the next video tutorial.